I told you it's a very big topic. There is another part of this which extends to the school environment. You know, you are trying to create an environment for your child. It is a wrong approach for you to invest at home in developing a child righteously, and then you introduce your child to a school where he or she will be totally destroyed by the kind of ideologies extended to him or her, the kind of friends that she would have to keep, because you paid for your child to have such friends. The moment you pay in that type of environment, you have invested wrongly. And you see your child, one of the things you should do at home, which I want everybody to note, is that get records, good recitation, good prayers. Play it daily. Without your consciousness, the children can memorize everything they hear. Without paying attention, they can memorize. It happened to us. There are so many musicians in those days that I can tell you everything about them, about what they sang, without particularly paying attention, because they play it around us. The kind of environment you need is to assist your children with recitations of the Quran. Before you know it, they will read it without any alpha, with azkar, with dua. Children can learn fast. So enrich your homes with such recitations for their sake. I've mentioned the school, Abi. It is not about an expensive school. If it is a very, very affordable school where they teach them about Allah, that is a school better than the best school in the federation. In the lecture I gave today, I told people it is not about how expensive a school is, but the values that that school teach. These values it teaches is what really matters. Another kind of environment is the business environment. You know, I said the environment is not just about children. It's also about you. The businesses you do matter. Any business you do that prevents you from worshiping Allah at the right time, you have created a toxic environment around yourself. And there is no excuse before Allah. Part of the environment is that what your children will eat must come from halal source. If you steal money to feed them, you are creating something terrible in their life. They don't need it. A 1 naira that is from Allah's source is far better than a 1 million that is stolen. Enrich their body with halal nutrition. Also, the extended family is another environment. Be mindful. There's a need for you to introduce your family to your children, but be mindful of who among them you will expose your children to. Today, there are so many children who have become something else, and when they tell you their story, they said, because I live with an uncle who is not a Muslim, who does not pray. Who introduced him to that uncle in the first place? Your children are on vacation. It does not mean they have to visit people. At times, when they have to go to some places, you have to go with them. Or you have a supervisor for them. Because before you know it, they will be indoctrinated into a destructive ideology. I hope you are all with me. By environment also, we also talk about the friends. What can you give with one hand and take back with another hand? You gave your children good morality, good moral lessons, good moral upbringing, only to allow them to become friends to toxic people, people who are not worshippers of Allah, people who will bring into their lives strange ideas. So I just thought that it is necessary for me to mention these other categories. So I can say a lot about the other environments too, but I know that you have understood it more than the level that I can take it to. Let us ensure that our children are secured in all fronts. So, it is important for you to have regular meetings at home. Let there be once in a while meeting involving daddy, mommy, and the children. You can institute that meeting. You need that meeting. When you say, we are going to have a meeting on Wednesday, everybody should prepare what he or she wants to tell me. The mother will tell the children that. The father will tell the children that. Prepare. So they are working towards that. They know there's a family meeting. You need to institute family meeting. We need that culture to sit down and let them tell you their minds. That family meeting is for them to speak out. You will be shocked at revelations, things you take for granted. Who they meet, what they told them, you will hear everything. If a child was playing with their private part, you will hear everything. It will be revealed to you. You are the confidant. Give them the voice. Let them speak, because they are already talking to some people. Children, they are not about just giving them money, giving them food. No, give them a voice. They have a lot to tell you. They love when you listen to them. Let that be a time to celebrate them. You scored 7/8. Wonderful. Allahu Akbar. Write the names of the children on the wall. Celebrate them. Be with them. The father should shut down when your child has to do something unique in school. You know, when you are sick, you don't go to work. You must shut down for them, because these little celebrations really matter. You see our sisters alone battling with that. The fathers are nowhere to be found. I beg you. Yes, you are the provider. You are the real person working. But then, how happy would the child be when the father comes around to celebrate with her or him? That is part of the environment. And how gloomy and depressed can the child be when other people's fathers are around, but his father is nowhere to be found? You know, no matter how they cheer him up, he will cry, because he just cannot find the father beside him or her. So let's try to do this extra job. You know, everything is not about the money. The moral influence, the physical presence at times shows that we are helping him to grow. Otherwise, some other people may take up the responsibility. In fact, there are people who will encourage you to deal with your children, but along the line, they are the ones talking to the children, you know, trying to take over our role. May Allah make it easy for us. So, like I said, whatever is not meant for the house should not be in the house. It's a house of peace, a house of prayers, a house of askar, a house of diligence, where lectures are given. The Wednesday lecture may be given by mommy, and daddy will just listen. The following lecture may be delivered by one of the children, and daddy is still listening. Until when daddy will now say, okay, it's my turn to now give lecture. Like 10-15 minutes lecture, they get used to it. What of a family where a verse is discussed a day? No matter how, whether online or whatever, we must discuss a verse. And every child will read the verse, but only a particular child will deliver that one. The next verse is by another child. The next verse is by mommy. The next verse is by daddy. Before you know it, they will complete the whole Quran. Discussing alone. If someone is shy, just tell him, open Ibn Kathir, the explanation of the Quran, and read it in English, and you have delivered your own lecture. Before you know it, they will develop the confidence to talk. Oh, tomorrow is Hadith. Just read the English version for us, and everybody will celebrate you. In In fact, they will record you and put you in the family WhatsApp. Listen to Mikhail, how he is giving us lectures. These are the kind of environment that children need to really be able to do what they want. Another important thing is that introduce them to models. When I say models, people around who are inspiring people around in Port Harcourt, imams, like our imam now. You just introduce imam to the children. See what imam is saying. They get used to righteous people. Because in the society is full of, I've been using toxic sins. May we not see them. May we not have anything to do with them. So you are not asking your children to memorize the names of any governor or any, except he wants to do common entrance. But more or less, let's talk about Umar radiallahu anhu. Good. Let's talk about Muhammad. Let's talk about Isa. Let's talk about Noah. Righteous people. Then in the environment, in this mosque, there are mentors. Fathers who are exposed and can mentor young children. May Allah make it easy. Question? No question. So that's the end of the matter. Any question?
If you have question, raise up your hands.
Let's take numbers.
Brothers.
I told you.
Sisters.
Very, very clear. Imam, pray for us.
Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen, we indeed